12 possibilities that may appear for Aries throughout 2026. If you are an Aries who has been feeling like something is building beneath the surface, like the air is shifting and the ground beneath your feet is preparing for movement, you are not imagining it. The year 2026 carries a unique energy for your sign. Not the kind that forces change upon you, but the kind that opens doors you did not know existed. The possibilities we are about to explore are not promises. They are potentials. Seeds that the universe is planting in your path, waiting for you to notice them, to water them, to give them the attention they deserve. Some of these may already be stirring in your life. Others may arrive in the months ahead, quietly, almost invisibly, until one day you look up and realize everything has changed. Possibility 1. The first possibility is a reconnection with a passion you abandoned years ago. There is something you used to love. Something that made your heart beat faster, that made time disappear, that made you feel more like yourself than anything else in the world. But at some point you set it aside. Life got busy. Responsibilities multiplied. The practical demands of survival pushed the things you loved into a corner where they gathered dust and silence. This year, that passion may come knocking again. It might show up as a memory, triggered by a song or a scent or a conversation that pulls you back to who you were before the world told you to be someone else. It might appear as an opportunity, unexpected and almost too perfect to be coincidence. Or it might simply arrive as a feeling, a quiet but persistent ache that says, "You are not done with this yet." Pay attention to that feeling, Aries, because this is not nostalgia. This is your soul reminding you of something essential, something that got lost in the shuffle of decades, something that still lives inside you waiting to be reclaimed. The beauty of reconnecting with an old passion later in life is that you bring all your experience, all your wisdom, all your depth to it. You are not the same person who first fell in love with this thing. You are deeper, richer, more layered. And that means your relationship with this passion will be deeper too. You will approach it not with the reckless enthusiasm of youth, but with the reverent appreciation of someone who understands what it means to have a second chance. Possibility 2. The second possibility is a shift in your financial landscape. This does not mean sudden wealth dropping from the sky. It means a change in the way money moves through your life. A new source of income, an investment that begins to bear fruit. A debt that finally gets resolved. A way of managing your resources that brings more stability than you have felt in years. For Aries, money has always been complicated. You are generous to a fault, impulsive with spending, and sometimes so focused on the next big thing that you forget to tend to what you already have. But 2026 may bring a maturity to your financial life that surprises you. You may find yourself making decisions with more patience, more strategy, more long-term thinking than ever before. This is not about becoming someone you are not. It is about integrating a part of yourself that you have been neglecting. The practical, grounded, methodical part that knows how to build slowly and sustainably. The shift may start small. A conversation that opens your eyes. A number that does not add up, forcing you to look more carefully at where your money goes. But from that small beginning, something significant can grow. Something that gives you not just financial security, but the freedom to pursue the things that matter most to you without the constant pressure of wondering if you can afford to. Possibility 3. The third possibility is a deepening of a relationship that has been surface level for too long. There is someone in your life, perhaps a family member, perhaps a friend, perhaps a partner, who you have been connected to without being truly close. The relationship exists, it functions, it fills a role, but it has not reached the depth that both of you are capable of. This year, the conditions may finally align for that depth to emerge. A conversation that goes further than usual. A shared experience that strips away the formalities. A moment of honesty that cracks open the wall between you and reveals something real and raw and beautiful. Aries, your relationships transform when you allow yourself to be seen. Not the edited version of you. Not the strong version. Not the version that has it all figured out. The real version. The one that doubts and hopes and fears and loves with an intensity that sometimes scares even you. When you bring that version of yourself to a relationship, everything changes. The other person responds to your honesty with their own. Trust deepens. Understanding grows. And what was once a surface-level connection becomes something that nourishes both of you in ways you did not know you needed. Possibility 4. The fourth possibility is a health transformation that begins with a single decision. Your body has been talking to you, Aries. Maybe it has been whispering for years, and maybe recently it has started to raise its voice. A pain that will not go away. A fatigue that sleep does not fix. A stiffness that reminds you every morning that you are not invincible. This year you may finally listen. And the listening may lead to a decision that changes everything. It might be a change in how you eat. A commitment to movement that honors your body instead of punishing it. A medical appointment you have been avoiding. A conversation with yourself about what you need versus what you have been settling for. The transformation does not have to be dramatic. In fact, the most lasting health changes rarely are. They are small, consistent, daily choices that accumulate over weeks and months until one day you realize you feel different. Lighter, stronger, more present in your own skin. For an Aries, taking care of your body is not vanity. It is strategy. It is ensuring that the vessel carrying your fire is strong enough to sustain it for decades to come. Possibility 5. The fifth possibility is the emergence of a creative project that has been living inside you, unformed and unnamed, waiting for the right moment to be born. You have felt it. That restless energy that does not attach to anything specific but refuses to go away. The ideas that come at 3 in the morning. The images that flash through your mind during quiet moments. The urge to create something, anything that did not exist before you imagined it. This year, that creative energy may finally find its form. A book, a garden, a piece of art, a business idea. A project that combines everything you know and everything you feel into something tangible and real. The key is not to judge it before it is finished. The key is not to compare it to what others have created. The key is simply to begin. To give yourself permission to be imperfect, to be messy, to be a beginner even at your age. Because creativity does not care about age. It cares about courage. And courage, Aries, has never been something you lacked. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Possibility 6. The sixth possibility is finding peace with your past. Not forgetting it. Not rewriting it. Not pretending it was better or worse than it was. But making peace with it exactly as it happened. This is one of the most profound things a person can do, and for an Aries it may be one of the hardest. Because you have a long memory when it comes to injustice. You remember the people who underestimated you. You remember the opportunities that were taken from you. You remember the moments where life was not fair, and the anger you felt was justified and real. But carrying all of that forward has a cost. It occupies space in your heart that could be filled with something better. It consumes energy that could be directed toward building rather than grieving. This year you may find yourself ready to release it. Not all at once. Not in a single dramatic moment of letting go. But gradually, gently, the way ice melts in spring. One memory at a time. One resentment at a time. One old wound at a time. Until you realize that the past no longer controls you. It informs you. It has shaped you. But it does not define you. And from that place of peace, anything becomes possible. Possibility 7. The seventh possibility is a new friendship that arrives at exactly the right time. Not just any friendship. The kind that feels like coming home. The kind where you do not have to explain yourself, where the conversation flows without effort, where silence is comfortable and laughter is frequent. You may meet this person in an unexpected place. Not where you usually look for connection, but somewhere you least expect it. A class, a waiting room, a neighborhood walk, a shared experience that reveals a shared soul. This friendship may become one of the most important relationships of your later years. Not because it replaces what came before, but because it adds a dimension you did not know was missing. Someone who sees you clearly. Someone who challenges you gently. Someone who reminds you that growth does not have an age limit, and that new chapters can begin at any time. For an Aries who has spent decades proving their strength, this kind of friendship offers something rare: permission to be soft. Permission to not have all the answers. Permission to simply be, without performing or protecting or pretending. And that permission, Aries, might be one of the greatest gifts this year has to offer. Possibility 8. The eighth possibility is a change in your living environment that shifts your entire energy. Your home is more than a building. It is a reflection of your inner world. And if your inner world has been changing, your outer world may need to change with it. This might mean a physical move, a new space that matches who you are becoming rather than who you used to be. Or it might mean transforming the space you already have, clearing out what no longer serves you, rearranging to create flow, adding elements that bring calm, beauty, and intention into your daily environment. For Aries, your home environment directly affects your fire. A cluttered, chaotic space drains your energy. A space that feels intentional, warm, and alive feeds your flame. This year, you may feel a strong pull to create a home that truly reflects your spirit. A place where you can recharge without distraction. A place where every object has meaning and every corner invites peace. This is not superficial, Aries. This is foundational. When your environment supports your growth, everything else accelerates. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Possibility 9. The 9th possibility is a revelation about your family that changes how you see your own story. Families carry secrets. They carry patterns. They carry unspoken truths that move through generations like underground rivers, shaping the landscape without ever being seen. This year, something may surface. A conversation with a relative that reveals a piece of your family history you never knew. A pattern you suddenly recognize repeating in your own life. A wound you thought was yours alone that turns out to be inherited, passed down through the bloodline like an invisible heirloom. This revelation is not meant to burden you. It is meant to free you, because when you understand where a pattern began, you gain the power to end it. When you see the roots of your struggles, you stop blaming yourself for things that were never entirely your doing. And when you recognize the strength that your ancestors carried, you realize that the fire inside you is not just yours. It belongs to a lineage. You are the current flame in a long line of fires. And understanding that connection, that continuity, gives your life a depth and a meaning that transcends the personal. You are not just living for yourself, Aries. You are living for everyone who came before you and everyone who will come after. And that awareness changes everything. Possibility 10. The 10th possibility is the discovery that solitude is not loneliness but sovereignty. There may come a moment this year when you find yourself alone. Not because people abandoned you, but because life arranged itself in a way that gave you space. And in that space, instead of the panic or sadness you might have expected, you may find something extraordinary: peace. A deep, quiet, unshakable peace that comes from being entirely self-contained. This is sovereignty, Aries. The recognition that you are complete within yourself. That your happiness does not depend on someone else's presence. That your worth does not require external validation. That you can sit in a room alone and feel not just okay, but genuinely fulfilled. This is not isolation. This is not withdrawal. This is the highest form of self-relationship. It is the understanding that every other connection in your life is enhanced, not threatened, by your ability to be at peace on your own. The Aries who discovers this kind of sovereignty becomes magnetic, not because they are trying to attract people, but because they radiate the kind of wholeness that everyone instinctively wants to be near. Possibility 11. The 11th possibility is a spiritual practice that finally feels like it fits. You may have tried meditation and found it too still. You may have explored prayer and found it too structured. You may have read spiritual books that spoke to your mind but not to your fire. This year, you may discover a practice that feels custom-made for your Aries energy. Something that combines movement with awareness. Something that honors your need for action while deepening your connection to the sacred. It might be walking meditation, where your body moves and your mind clears simultaneously. It might be breathwork, where the intensity of controlled breathing matches the intensity of your spirit. It might be journaling, where the act of writing becomes a conversation with your higher self. Whatever form it takes, this practice will not feel like an obligation. It will feel like relief, like coming home to a part of yourself you forgot existed. And as you make it part of your daily life, you will notice shifts. Subtle at first. A calmness you did not expect. A clarity that seems to arrive without effort. A sense of connection to something vast and loving and infinitely patient. That connection has always been available to you, Aries. You just needed the right doorway to reach it. Possibility 12. The 12th possibility is the realization that your best years are not behind you. They are here. Right now. This very moment. Society has a way of telling people over 60 that their peak has passed. That everything meaningful happened in their youth. That the future holds nothing but decline and diminishment. But you, Aries, have never been one to accept what society tells you. And this year you may reject that narrative once and for all. Because the truth is, you have never been more prepared for life than you are right now. You have never had more wisdom, more perspective, more emotional depth, more spiritual awareness than you carry in this moment. Everything you have lived through has been training for this. Not for retirement, not for slowing down, but for living with a fullness and a presence that was simply not possible when you were younger. The best years of an Aries are not determined by age. They are determined by fire. And your fire is still burning. Maybe differently than it did at 20 or 40. Maybe with less flash and more warmth. Maybe with less explosion and more illumination. But it is burning. And as long as it burns, the possibilities remain infinite. The 12 possibilities laid out before you today are not predictions, Aries. They are invitations. Each one is a door that the energy of 2026 is holding open, waiting for you to decide whether you will walk through it. Some of these doors you will recognize. Some will surprise you, and some will challenge you in ways you did not anticipate. But every single one of them leads somewhere better than where you are standing still. This year is not about waiting for life to happen to you. It is about meeting life halfway. It is about showing up with your fire lit, and your heart open and your mind ready for whatever comes next. The universe does not waste energy on signs that are not ready, Aries. And the fact that these possibilities are appearing in your path tells you everything you need to know. You are ready. More than ready. You are overdue. So step forward. Not with hesitation, not with doubt, but with the full force of who you are and who you are still becoming. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.